The road is made of red earth. It is a long ribbon unfurling across the landscape. The sun has baked it hard in places. Recent rain has softened it in others. It winds past low, umbrella-shaped acacia trees and hills that rise gently from the plains. A lone white egret flies in a slow, deliberate arc overhead, its wings catching the morning light. A woman walks along the edge of this road. Upon her head, she balances a large woven basket with an ease born from years of practice. As our vehicle approaches, she turns her head, and a slow, warm smile spreads across her face before she continues her journey. The dry, clean smell of dust and the faint, comforting aroma of distant cooking smoke. This is a corner of East Africa that does not appear on most tourist maps. It is a place that has, for the most part, been passed over by the rush of modern travel. Here, life moves at a different pace, dictated not by clocks but by the sun's journey across the sky and the coming of the rains. It is a place that keeps its calm, a quiet sanctuary that holds its stories close. The silence is not empty. It is filled with the hum of insects, the distant call of a bird, and the whisper of wind through the tall grasses. Under the generous shade of a large tamarind tree, I sat and watched the world unfold. A small child, no older than 5, was engaged in a spirited chase with a young goat. The child's eyes were bright with laughter and determination, while the goat, nimble and quick, darted just out of reach. An older man, sitting on a low wooden stool nearby, called out to the goat in a gentle, chiding tone. He then turned, caught my eye, and laughed a deep, hearty laugh. He was drinking tea from a small, delicate glass cup, and the steam rose in a fragrant cloud around his face. The tea, when I was later offered some, was strong, sweet, and spiced with cardamom. He told me his name was Joseph. He explained that this village, his home, had remained much the same for generations. He spoke of the seasons, of the planting and of the harvest, and of the community that bound everyone together. Tourists, he said, came through sometimes, but not often. They were usually in a hurry. Life here is slow, he said, taking another sip of tea, and that is a very good thing. East Africa is a vast and varied continent within a continent. Its geography is a dramatic tapestry woven from different threads. The immense dry plains of the Serengeti, plains stretching to a horizon with no end. Mount Kilimanjaro, mist-shrouded. The Rwenzori Mountains, misty peaks. The great Rift Valley lakes, long and deep, lakes mirroring the expansive sky. Lush, humid forests teeming with life. People have built their lives here in countless ways, adapting with ingenuity and resilience. Human settlement is as varied as the land. Circular homes, family compounds, small rectangular houses of handmade brick with corrugated iron roofs glowing orange at sunset. Small towns, clusters of shops and busy streets. Each place has its own culture, its own rules. Morning begins before the sun. First light reveals men and boys walking silently to the fields, carrying hoes and gourds of water. The school's walls painted with cheerful murals. A teacher with a kind face writes letters on an old blackboard. Children at simple wooden desks, eyes concentrated. They recite lessons in a melodic chant. They sing songs, voices clear and full of youthful energy spilling into the morning. The sound is a testament to hope and the community's investment in the future. It speaks of learning, growth, and the desire for a better life for the next generation. This daily ritual is the heartbeat of the village. In another village, the day begins not with the quiet walk to the fields, but with the vibrant energy of the market. The market square, a dusty, open space for most of the week, is transformed into a loud and colorful spectacle. It is a sensory explosion. People from all the surrounding areas converge here, bringing their goods to sell and their news to share. Piles of deep red tomatoes, bunches of green plantains, bolts of brightly patterned cloth create a kaleidoscope of color. The air is thick with a complex blend of smells. The earthy scent of potatoes, the sharp tang of ginger, the sweet aroma of ripe mangoes. The sound of the market is a symphony of human interaction. The lively back and forth of haggling is punctuated by bursts of sudden, loud laughter. It is a place of business, but it is also a place of connection. A woman presides over a stall selling fish caught fresh from a nearby lake. With practiced skill, she scales and cleans the fish on a wooden board by the roadside, her movements quick and efficient. She wraps a purchase in a piece of old newspaper for a customer. She then pauses to give a small, cooked piece to a little boy who has been watching her with wide, curious eyes. He takes it with a shy smile, a small moment of kindness in the midst of the market's bustle. The market is much more than just a place to buy and sell goods. It is the social hub of the entire region, the place where information is exchanged and relationships are reinforced. A simple map of this region reveals a landscape dotted with countless small points of light. Each dot represents a home. Each dot represents a farm. Each dot represents a small town. Many of these dots are situated far from the main paved roads, tucked away in the protective embrace of the hills. Hidden deep within a fertile valley, they rest quietly by the shores of a lake or at the edge of a dense forest. I often find myself looking at such a map, my finger tracing the thin, faint lines of secondary roads. I choose one small, anonymous dot and begin to wonder about the journey to get there. I imagine the challenges of the path and the people I might meet at its end. Travel to these more secluded spots is rarely a straightforward affair. Main roads soon give way to rough, corrugated dirt tracks that test the suspension of any vehicle. A signpost might point down a narrow path that seems to disappear into the bush, eventually ending at the bank of a slow-moving river. To cross, you may need to wait for a small, hand-pulled ferry. It forces you to adjust to a different rhythm. It allows you to see the details of the landscape that are missed when speeding by. Children stopping their games to wave as you pass. Men sitting in the shade, meticulously crafting tools from wood or metal. A flock of brilliantly colored birds suddenly rising from the treetops in a whir of wings. The journey becomes a destination in itself, revealing the intricate connection between the people and the land they inhabit. From an aerial perspective, the land transforms into a magnificent patchwork quilt. A lake is a shard of dark, reflective glass set into the earth. A village is a scattered cluster of tiny roofs, like pebbles tossed onto a blanket. From this high vantage point, the sky feels overwhelmingly large, a vast dome of blue that dwarfs everything below. The land, seen from above, is alive, inscribed with the patterns of human care. You can see footpaths linking homes, and the trails where animals are herded to pasture. A map of community drawn upon the earth. It is all part of a larger story, written in lines and textures on the land. In many of these hidden corners of East Africa, wildlife is not confined to the boundaries of national parks. It is an ever-present part of the landscape and of daily life. You might be driving along a quiet track and come across a small herd of antelope, grazing peacefully on a grassy plain, their heads lifting in unison as you approach. You might find a troop of baboons foraging near a rocky outcrop, the young ones playing and tumbling over each other under the watchful eye of the dominant male. These are not grand spectacles of the Great Migration, but quiet, intimate encounters with the natural world. The early morning hours often bring the most surprising meetings. A journey near a quiet, reed-lined river might reveal the massive head of a hippopotamus surfacing silently, its nostrils flaring as it takes a breath before sinking back into the murky water. The trees are alive with the movement and sound of birds. Some, like the superb starling, are dazzlingly bright and impossible to ignore. Others are small, brown, and shy, revealed by a fleeting glimpse or a delicate melodic call. The world of animals lives in close and constant proximity to the world of people, a shared existence that is both beautiful and complex. The two worlds meet at waterholes, essential to livestock and wild animals, places of truce in the dry season, yet fields of ripening maize or millet can tempt elephants or buffalo, and conflict follows. The relationship between people and wildlife here is not a romantic ideal. It is a practical, daily negotiation. It is a dynamic of respect, caution, and sometimes competition for the same precious resources of land and water. The people who live here understand this balance in a way that an outsider rarely can. This coexistence demands deep, ancestral knowledge of animal behavior. People know which paths to avoid after dark. They can read the signs left by a leopard that passed in the night. They know the call of the honey-guide bird, which will lead them to a wild beehive. This knowledge is woven into their stories, their songs, and their understanding of the world. It is a relationship built not on fences and regulations, but on a shared history that stretches back for millennia, a constant dance between the human and the wild in a land that belongs to both. In a particularly dry and dusty part of the country, where the sun beat down with an unforgiving intensity, I met an elder who carried the wisdom of generations in his eyes. He knew the sky intimately, reading rain from a distant cloud and the wind. He pointed to a gnarled baobab and said the old trees remember the seasons. He spoke of a small migratory bird that arrives each year at the same time, not just an animal, but a friend and messenger. He spoke with quiet urgency, hoping the story and the bird would be respected. These conversations, these small moments of shared humanity, are the true treasures of travel in such places. They require patience and a willingness to listen without judgment. I have learned to ask simple, open questions. Tell me about a typical day. How have the seasons changed things for you this year? I ask about their children, the river that provides water, an animal they have seen recently. More often than not, people are happy to share. They might tell you a short story, sing you a song, or show you how to prepare a local dish. These moments are fleeting, but they stay with you long after the journey is over. The local markets offer more than just food and manufactured goods. They are vibrant showcases of local craft and artistry. With a gentle, knowing touch, a pot takes form as if by magic. A weaver interlaces brightly colored threads, patterns passed down for generations. A spoon emerges from a block of wood, each cut careful and precise. He strives to create something useful and beautiful, a smooth finish, a balanced weight, and the market connects him to a buyer. Trade here is personal, direct, and meaningful, sustaining families, validating skill, and strengthening community. It is about using what is available to make what is needed. A discarded tire is transformed into a durable pair of sandals. Old tin cans are cut and shaped into toy cars for children. A gourd is dried and hollowed out to become a water ladle. There is an inherent sustainability here, a waste not, want not philosophy practiced for centuries out of necessity. When you purchase a handmade item, you participate in a local economy, helping a potter buy food, a weaver pay for medicine. The money goes directly to the maker, supporting them and their community in tangible ways. A simple, honorable exchange that connects people through skill and trust. Traveling in these quiet corners of East Africa requires a particular mindset, one rooted in respect. Move softly, observe carefully, ask permission, especially before taking photographs. A nod, a smile, a gesture toward your camera is often all it takes. If they shake their head, respect their refusal with grace. Ask before entering a family compound. It is their private space. Learning a few words can go a long way. A simple greeting like Jambo, or its local equivalent, opens doors and breaks down barriers. Avoid giving money or sweets. Consider school supplies for the teacher, or a football for children to share. Food is a wonderful gift. Buy locally and share with those who host you. Observe customs. If people dress modestly, do the same. If you are invited to share a meal, accept with gratitude. This is less about rules than about gentle curiosity and profound respect. Leave behind good feelings and fond memories, not a sense of intrusion. I remember a sunset by the shore of a small, quiet lake. The sky was a breathtaking canvas of red, orange, gold. On the water, fishermen pulled their nets with a slow, rhythmic motion, practiced 1,000 times. On the shore, children ran and shouted, chasing a worn-out football across the sand. A little further away, women murmured and prepared the evening meal. The day closed like a well-read book. As the sun dipped, the air grew cool. Birdsong faded, replaced by crickets. The first stars began to appear, a community at rest. The beauty here is quiet and deep, rhythms tied to earth and sky. Small hopes endure, a good harvest, healthy children, peace in the community. These places are not waiting for mass tourism, but for travelers who see, who listen, who care, welcomed with gentle eyes and open hearts. Go with soft steps, take your time, sit and listen. Let the place speak. Remember the warm tea, the shared laugh, and the long red road beneath a vast, benevolent sky.